Yeah, just me. I'm the lawyer.
Okay, you got any weapons on you?
No, sir. You can check.
Okay.
He's got a lot of weapons.
What's this trooper's name?
Are we able
what's
to?
up? I'm Derek Minifield.
Can we get something handled before?
I'm Anastasia.
Hey, how you doing? Hold on, I'll be back
so
probably.
Good. Oh yeah, please be back. Oh my god, he's so hot.
All right, you want to check real quick or honor system? Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, well Hugo's just gonna.
Yeah, this will just put more work into the honor system later.
Yeah. Oh, what the?
God, here we go.
He's just trying to do his job, man. He's just trying to do his job.
Oh Jesus! Don't pull weapons. Don't pull weapons out here.
The way you put that gun away is just oh.
You good?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So what's the situ?
So this guy, theft of a motor vehicle. He had a fire truck.
Got you.
And he evaded. He did not stop when we, tried to pull him over.
Got you.
He's complaining that we killed his dog, which was a deer. No, the deer was already dead.
Got you.
The charges are theft of a motor vehicle, theft of a government vehicle, disobeying the lawful order because he jumped out of the vehicle at the liquor store, tried to go in and get beer, and we told him, sir, stop and put your hands up, but he did not do that. And then, it's theft of a motor vehicle, disobeying the lawful order, and evading.
So you tried to stop a good, hardworking American from getting a beer?
in a fire truck.
Again, that's my question still stands, Trooper. That seems to be the biggest detail I'm seeing here today now.
Well, listen, when you're sitting there being detained, trying to get a traffic stop going, and you decide to still go in the liquor store,
it sounds like time for a beer. It's stressful, ain't it? Maybe he was going to give you one.
Well, get a beer afterwards.
All right. I'll go take some time to talk with my client, but we're looking at theft of a motor, disobeying of a lawful order, and
theft of a government vehicle.
Theft of a government vehicle. Here, I'm gonna write this down. I'm sorry. One sec.
What's your name, by the way, real quick? So
Hugo Potesta.
Hugo, and then spell that last name for me.
Pattesta.
Okay.
Yeah, I can vouch he's a warrior. He done destroyed us a couple times.
Oh no! I was I needed to document it. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm just here to do what's best for the client. So we got disobeying lawful order, theft of a government vehicle, and what was the third one? I'm sorry.
Evading.
Evading. Gotcha. All right.
So listen. The only thing I don't think that I think he's getting confused with wanting to take to. I don't know. I think he's getting confused with wanting civil compensation for this dog deer and fighting the charges, but I'm not sure. I'm just giving you that heads up.
All right, okay? All right. I'll discuss that with him. That's a very common misconception, as you know.
All right. Well, let me let you in there.
Thank you. Everybody gets surprised that we don't have keys. Thank you. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing all right. About yourself?
I'm all right. My name's Hugo Potesta.
Man, I'm not doing all right. I'm doing real bad right now.
You'd be surprised how many people answer that question in weird and interesting ways. It's all right. I get it. It's an overwhelming situation. My name's Hugo Potesta. I'm going to be your defense lawyer today, all right? Are you aware...
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, too. Are you aware of the charges being brought against you today, sir?
And they're all bullshit.
But you know all three of them? Theft of a government vehicle, disobeying a lawful order, and evading?
False.
Okay, we can talk about the validity of these. I just want to make sure you know that they're all there, all right?
All right, those three.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they're charging you with today. All right. Do you want to give me the rundown of what happened here exactly today, or how do you want me to approach this for you? I'm here to advise you.
So they have the letter, but I got a letter that says that I'm allowed to drive the fire truck.
Okay.
They have it. Did they tell you about it?
They did not mention that to me.
All right, well, there's a letter. You could ask them to see it, right?
Gotcha.
Because it does say that I'm allowed to drive the fire truck, right? The thing is, they're trying to say that I was evading because I was driving the fire truck. I had the sirens on, which means I'm trying to go somewhere real important, like right. Well,
Yeah,
I
you got
saw
an
them.
emergency.
Yeah, exactly. I saw them. They came behind me. They had their sirens on, so I was like, "Oh well, that makes sense. They're
Escort.
giving cover exactly for a fire truck." Well, on my way to an emergency, as a full-blown American, I got to stop for a beer. But I wasn't going to drink it then. I was grabbing it first at the liquor store. So when I finished fighting the fire, I could have something to quench my thirst and finish my shift.
Something interesting actually happened out there when they were telling me the story. I said, the biggest detail I'm seeing here is that you stopped a working American man from getting a beer.
That's what I'm saying.
I had the exact same thought.
Hard.
All right, so there's a couple of different ways we can go about this, all right? I also understand that there was a dog involved.
They shot my dog.
They shot your dog,
The
specifically.
moment I tried to get back into the fire truck, holding Beauregard, my dear emotional service dog, I service him and he services me. But the moment I got back in, there was another officer who is not here, and I never heard his name. All he did was shoot me and shoot Beauregard and then leave.
Interesting. All right.
I was, in fact, shot, even though I was not being combative.
I got you. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. There's a couple of different angles we can take this. The 3 options that are always available to you, and it will be your choice. Like I said, I'm just here to counsel you, right? It's going to be your call. You got
I'm not guilty.
I get that. I want to make sure you know all 3. It's me making sure that I did my job. So you got guilty, which will give you a deal. And that way we'd be able to work on time. We could try to get these charges dropped. I think the best option would actually be the theft of a government vehicle. We could get that dropped and then just deal with disobeying and evading. But on the other side of things, we could try to take this to bench trial, which is we deal with it right now. We try to get a judge. We try to get everybody together, and we sort this out right now. It sounds like we're going to be going with an affirmative defense, which means that, honestly, the chances, not good. But I'd take it for you. That's my job. That's what I'm here for, and I'd take it for you. I've taken worse, and believe you me, I've gotten better results before. So, there's that option. The third option is, very simply put, not guilty, sent up. In which case, we try to get more evidence, we try to get more information, more witnesses, and then we have a scheduled court date where we both appear, and we fight this case on your behalf. Okay?
I think the evidence is pretty much laid out. There's not much more I can say about that, so I say we do it now.
Okay, you want to talk about a bench trial?
I think we can win it.
Okay, and you're certain you don't want to explore the possibility of a guilty plea in any way?
I think this is bullshit, because honestly, there's this massive miscommunication all the way through. They thought I was evading. I was not evading.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go talk with the troopers real quick. We might be coming back in here to have them confirm that, all right?
Ask them about the letter. Ask them about the letter.
I will. That's going to be a crux of the argument, so I'm going to make sure they have that in evidence, all right?
All right.
All right, so this is part of a fun part of my job. Very fun. He is pretty much adamant about not guilty currently.
Oh.
Okay.
On that front, though, I would like to request, did this gentleman provide you with a permission slip or letter of some sort that stated he had permission to drive this vehicle?
Where do you get a load of this?
Where did I get informed of that information? I mean...
No.
Oh, wait until I look at it.
Yeah, get a load of that.
He's about to give you his load.
Yeah, you
I don't
I
don't know if I want that.
fucking happens.
You can
Jesus
take a,
Christ.
you can take a look at this.
seen
All
my
right, let's see this.
slip.
Let's see this.
Yeah, take a look at that.
The permission slip. Okay, so I'm seeing some details missing here.
Like his name's misspelled, fire truck's misspelled.
Drive is misspelled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
The person that
no
wrote it must have been
business.
illiterate, guys. Come on.
Nobody
He wrote
who, but
He
well, that's
wrote
the
it
thing.
in the cells. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my other concern here is that there's no way that I could call anybody from. Okay, I'm going to hand this back to you, sir.
All right.
And then I'm going to ask that the door be unlocked again so that I may go speak to my client once more.
All right.
I am
There you
trying
go.
so hard to keep it together right now. Oh my god. All right, so the chances have gone down, sir.
Why you say that?
Dal-ass Kindriv fur truck is not a valid permission slip. We
That's
don't
what
have.
they gave me.
Well, I'm unfortunately you needed a phone number, the person's name, an actual authorization slip because that doesn't even have your name on it, sir. You realize that, right?
How was I supposed to know? I don't know how to read or write.
Okay, so you don't know how to read or write at all.
Nope.
Interesting. All right. So, regardless of that fact, I'm going to tell you that ain't going to hold up, and that would be the crux of our argument. They were kind enough to actually let me read it, which they don't have to do until we step into the courtroom. I'm going to have to advise you here that we might want to explore the possibility of a guilty plea. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that, but it's your choice, and I'm going to advise you based on what I'm seeing here right now. We could take this to court, but the judge might laugh in your face.
Is he gonna laugh when they find out they shot my dog?
See, if I try to bring that up, the DA is going to argue relevance. Because they're not charging anything regarding that. We can definitely use that in closing, but I'm not sure how much that's going to help. We don't have evidence of this dog, right?
They didn't get pictures of him out when they picked me up. I was laying in a pool of his blood.
Gotcha. Was he there? Was his body there too?
Yeah, because I was in the fire truck with Beauregard. I don't know if they did or not, but I was in the fire truck with Beauregard, and they shot us both. Because there are 2 bullets in the front of the fire truck, and then I came out of the truck. Beauregard landed on top of me, and the next thing I know, I'm in a pool of his blood.
All right. I'm going to advise we go on the path of trying to get a deal. You know, we can go talk about it and at least see what they say. If you really don't like it, we can go back down the possibility of a bench trial. But there might be something here that I can use those angles right now. We could get you walked out of here right now. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but okay, well, am I still going to be considered a felon because that means I can't vote? It means I can't do a lot of things.
So we can actually, push for things to be reduced below the felony bar. Is this your first offense completely?
Let's say yes. Don't ask them to look at my record for earlier today.
Okay, because if you have a previous felony, that's going to be a problem. But we might be able to swing that as an angle in the deal. There's a lot of things possible. I've gotten people their cars back. I've gotten people their guns back, okay? Getting a felony moved down to a misdemeanor for the sake of keeping your licenses is something that's on the table, you know? If that's the angle you want me to go for, I can prioritize that above all else and see if we can't get that done for you, yeah?
That might be able to work, because they said something about $9,000 something in fines, and that's let's just say no.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So let's see if we can't get that moved down. I'll go talk to them. We're gonna have them come in here. We're gonna see if I'm gonna try and move that down to theft of a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor, all right?
Okay, all right. I don't know what misdemeanor is, but that's fine by me.
So let's talk about the possibility of a guilty plea. There's some hang-ups I'm hearing about here if we were to go down that route for a plea deal. So I want to understand, how creative are we feeling today?
I mean, pitch something. We'll see what we can do with it.
Okay. Because it's sounding like y'all shot Beauregard, and I don't think that's very great. It also sounds... Yes, the dog. Now, it also sounds like you prevented a hard-working American from just trying to get a beer for after his shift. Now, I understand the difficulty that y'all find yourselves in. You have a hard job. There's a lot of dangerous criminals out there. You never know what somebody's up to, all right? But we're looking at a man on his first offense who's honestly hurt nobody. He believed that slip was valid. Apparently, he cannot read nor write in any capacity, from my understanding.
Sir, he wrote it on the bench right here.
So, from my understanding, he does not have the capacity to write. He might have tried to look at it to understand what was going on, but I don't think he actually was able to ascertain any information from it. And I'm just trying to, look out here and realize y'all have a lot to do. There's a lot of dangerous criminals on those streets. What he did here, it seems like an honest mistake. Could we possibly move that felony down to a misdemeanor, theft of a motor vehicle? I don't see a reason why this man's entire life should be upheaved, especially considering the fact that the election is today. really taking away this man's right to vote at the last moment. Like I said, hardworking American. You know, voting's real important. We should give him the opportunity to perform his civic duty, no?
So we have a guy, right? He steals, let's say a scenario, okay? This not this guy. We got a guy. He steals a cop's car, goes on a rampage, right? Yeah.
And what do you mean by rampage?
Like he's speeding all over the city. He's taking police on hella dangerous
Okay, so
car chases.
I'm gonna provide a little bit of context here, okay? And you can take this or leave it. But if you believe that you are in a fire truck and you've been authorized to use that fire truck, and you've got lights and sirens on because you're trying to respond to an emergency, and then more lights and sirens come up behind you, would you not assume that is an assist escort? Removing all other details here. Removing all other details.
He wouldn't.
Okay, so by proxy of your argument, we would be talking about evading, because ignorance to still in the fire truck is still in the fire truck.
And still nothing.
It sounds like he was provided the fire truck along with the slip. This is just what I'm gathering from my limited perspective and understanding. But I
would be. He believed he believed that we were providing him backup for the place he was going to. Which there was no emergency he was going to at the time. He was going to he was going to buy beer.
He was grabbing beer on the way to something else.
So in a emergency response, it's okay for, you know, troopers like us and firefighters and everybody else to stop and get some beer.
Okay, at the end of the day, we are not willing to drop the theft of a government vehicle. We are willing to talk about the evading, but not the theft of a government vehicle.
Okay, I'm gonna need a moment to talk to my client real quick. All right. So we can try for time. Or, again, it's your call at the end of the day. We put on the screws. I don't think we're going to get much further than that unless we try for another angle, like time. I will say the felony that they already have on there at least removes the voter issue.
I didn't even know I had a felony.
Well, now you know, unfortunately. I apologize, but that tells you now.
What felony did I have?
You want me to go ask them? Because, I mean, they didn't say it.
Might have to have 2 back-to-back court sessions, to be honest with you.
I'm game. It's my job. I'm ready for anything.
Well, you want to add? Yeah. Well, first off, let's take care of this thing, and we can ask him on the way.
I'm gonna ask him what the felony is, and then do you want to take this to bench trial?
I think we might need to, because I think I can, with everything they're saying and everything we're saying, we might have a chance here.
All right. I can do my best up there. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, odds not good, but as long as you're realistic, I'll take you there. We'll do our best right now.
All right, let's go.
Once everybody's ready to begin, we'll do the swearing in.
I believe I am ready, Your Honor. I have advised my client completely on their Fifth Amendment right and what it means to take the stand. We can continue.
Okay. So everybody raise your hands. This is just a mass swearing. So we don't have to do it one by one. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury and death? Or may you be buried under snow?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I'm sorry, I do.
All right, prosecution, you may begin.
We continued along Vespucci Boulevard, eventually ending up at El Rancho Boulevard at the liquor store. The driver then got out of the truck, and was holding a deer, at which time we ordered him to place his hands in the air, but he ignored us and walked into the liquor store.
All right, so there I was doing my shift as a volunteer firefighter, and I got the truck from a guy named Contractor. Right, that was the name. Right, he gave me that permission slip and said if I ever got pulled over, use that one, and that'll be good to go. And the next thing I know, when I'm stopping by the liquor store and going to get back into my truck, they're yelling at me and all this other stuff. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I had to go put a fire out, which, just so y'all know, that fire probably still going. Next thing I know, I'm getting shot at, and then my dog gets shot. That's my emotional support service dog. I service him. He services me.
Okay. And this dog is the deer?
I
There's
believe it
no
to be a
deer,
dog,
it's
Your
a
Honor.
dog.
At this point, we'll move to the closings. So you guys can highlight evidence or any testimony, anything like that. So, State, you go first.
Yep. That permission slip he has was filled with spelling and grammar errors. It was not signed, nor was it dated, or any contact information whatsoever. Anyone could have written that permission slip. That does not give you the right to take a fire truck. That doesn't. He even admitted it. He thought he was being escorted. There was lights. He was well aware that there was lights and signs behind him. He still didn't stop. That's evaded right there. And then he was told multiple times to drop the support animal and to put his hands up. And he didn't do that either. That's all three. He disobeyed, he evaded, and he took the fire truck. That fire truck could be somewhere else holding down another fire. But no, they're one fire truck short now. And that's one house burnt down.
Is that really it?
You do.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, today we have heard tale from the state about an incident that could have be handled in many different ways, with many details that the state has opted not to offer for the court's considerations today, including the fact that my client is illiterate and had no ability to confirm the information on that permission slip. My client not only was providing a service to the community, but out of the kindness and simpleness out of his heart, he didn't even ask for payment. The state has not only brought forward a litany of frivolous charges, but they have shot my client's dog in cold blood, and even kept a hard-working American hero, might I say, from getting himself a simple beer for the end of his shift. I ask the courts to find this kind, poor, simple man and find him innocent on all charges, as that is what justice should be.
But we're also arguing the fact that a deer's a dog.
He's not a deer. I think he was part Great Dane. That's why he was so big.
Dogs get big.
They do.
Yeah.
All right.
It has holes.
We don't get that big.
I have come to a decision. During the narrative, the defendant stated that someone named I Contractor gave him the truck and even gave us a note saying that he could have the fire truck. I cannot find anyone with any variation of that name within our MDT. The prosecution highlighted that this note had no identifiers on it, just a piece of paper with poorly written Dal Ass Ken Drive Fur Truck. This is not any sort of official document, so I will find him guilty of theft of a motor vehicle. Of a government vehicle, sorry. Mr. Ryder had also stated himself that he was well aware of the police that were after him, thinking it would be an escort to whatever fire he thought there was. But he went to the liquor store to get a beer. Not to a fire. So, guilty of evading.
I didn't have a chance to get to the fire.
You were told multiple times to drop the deer and put your hand up, which you responded with running to the fire truck and getting in it. So you will be getting guilty of disobeying a lawful order.
I was tackled twice before that.
Guilty on our charges.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yep.
Yes.
I would just like it reflected in the record that they shot his dog.
There's no mention of him getting the dog Dale thing getting shot.
They fired
Forward,
upon
they
the
could still be
vehicle with the dog
sleeping.
inside. Both my client and the dog were hit. They shot his dog.
There is no proof. That's not true. That's just
If we
not
told the-
true.
Yeah, if you told him the deal, that would be under the door, so you wouldn't be able to shoot the deal dog.
Exactly. It was like it was
Dane
behind the
thingy.
dash.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's a deer or a dog.
It had antlers, Your Honor.
That's my
Big ones.
emotional support
Big
dog,
ones.
Beauregard.
Who's to say he didn't lift the dog to try to block the bullet?
Oh my
How
God.
dare you imply a dog owner would ever do
my
that, sir?
goodness. Your Highness, do you hear this?
I do. Court is adjourned.
Well, we could-
I'll be here for a couple minutes in case.